What's good, guys? What's good, guys? Your boy, Mr. Old School Ryder, come back at you one more again. I have a special guest. She's a playwright and also author as well. She does a variety of things, and we're going to talk about it today. I have author Miss K. Reshay. What is going on?
Hey, how are you? Thank you for
Doing,
having me on the show.
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing well.
Tell us about yourself for a moment. I'm going to let you have the floor real quick.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Author K. Reshay. I am a self-published author, poet, and playwright. I am also the president and founder of Me Time Book Club.
All right. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. How long you been an author and a playwright?
I've been writing for years. Wrote my first short story at the age of 8. I officially self-published in 2017 with my first novel entitled Appearances. And then ever since 2017, I have really stepped into the literary scene and have, been grinding out ever since.
Oh wow, 2017. You've been writing for a very long time, then, for what it sounds like. Then, okay, I like that. So, what was
Yes.
your first book that you published?
The first book that I published was my debut novel, Appearances. It is a drama-filled suspense novel that actually turned into a trilogy. So it's 3 parts to that book. And then after I wrote those three, I had my latest novel, All Things Work Out Well, and that came out in 2020. No, yeah, 2020. Kind of get these dates, these years confused, but yeah, 2020.
I mean, for the last couple of years, everything pretty much been a fog right now. We're getting a lot of things confused right now, and we actually in 2022. But yeah, these actually 3 years been. It went by slow, but it went fast at the same time.
Absolutely. And also for my plays, I forgot to answer that part of your question. Those plays kind of just fell into my lap. I've always been in plays when I was growing up in school and everything, but my church has a drama ministry, and every year they were doing Christmas plays. And one year I just decided, I think this was about in 2018, I decided that I wanted to kind of take a stab at it, and I wrote my first play was called Crystal's Heart, and it was performed by my drama ministry at my church. And then the second one was I prayed about it, and that was the second play. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. It's something that I definitely would like to see on the main stage one day.
Oh, from the church sector. Okay, you're a good old clean woman. Okay. My goodness. So, out of the trilogy that you like, what was your favorite character out of the trilogy?
um, hmm. Well, I would have to say Ty. I think Ty was my favorite character because he, all of the characters had their flaws, but I think out of everybody, he was one of the more honest characters. I think Ty. I would say Ty.
Oh, that's good. Look like he's still alive in the trilogy. Of course, he's not gonna get. I can't ask that question. I was gonna ask, is he gonna get knocked off anytime soon?
No, he did not get knocked off.
That's
He
a
did
good thing.
not get knocked off.
I know when it comes to like certain type of books or just characters in general that people like,
Hmm.
you get deep into them. Next thing you know, they get how can I say that? Either get knocked off or they turn for the worse. Sometimes I'm like, dang,
Oh yeah. Now,
why
now
him?
the appearances series will definitely. I've had a lot of readers not have a favorite character because all of them. I mean, it's a lot. Appearances is more on the erotic side. I didn't plan on it to be, but it's definitely a page turner, and it is basically about how people go about their lives, and they appear to be something else, and they live separate lives from what they show their peers. and it just throughout the story, everything just unravels.
All right. So since the your book is on the erotic side, I know you said it wasn't intended, but
Hmm.
what type of style do you write for your erotic? Do you give? I know you don't give us everything, but is it kind of like painting a picture? You kind of give us like a little bit to use our imagination.
Well, the goal of an author is definitely to pull out emotion from the reader. So yes, it's very detailed. It's no it's not imagination with the appearance of the series. Now with my latest novel, All Things Work Out Well, I'm not it's not as erotic, but definitely, being self-published, there is no, ceiling. You're basically free to do whatever you want. So, I have children's books, I've co-authored with my two sons. We have the stage plays and we have the novels. So a little bit of everything is, to me, I just really enjoy that freedom of being able to really do what you want.
So have you been self-published the whole time, or have you been with a fashion house? I mean, not a fashion house. I mean, a publishing house.
Initially I did get a book deal offer, but you know, somebody like me, I'm going to read the fine print, and it was not what I wanted to do. And I started talking to, being a book club president, I got the opportunity to meet a lot of authors who were self-published. So I reached out to them, and found out that, it's easier to have control over your own stuff and not have somebody else have the rights to it and hold you down to a contract and things like that. And so you have total control. And so, yeah, um, self-published the whole entire time. Eventually, I would like to get a literary agent, you know, but self-publishing to me is what I would prefer for right now.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I kind of compare the literary game versus music. They pretty much similar. I
Mm-hmm.
guess if you want to get a deal, depends on what you negotiate. You pretty much the
Mm-hmm.
company gonna have like control like most of the stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll have that big marketing machine behind you, and also they'll probably give you some money. Depends on how much it is.
Right.
Versus being independent, which I like as well. You have like pretty much total control of your own stuff, so they
Mm-hmm.
don't have to tell you, "Hey, you need to go ahead and publish this book like right now," or they're gonna change
Exactly.
the characters up a little bit.
Yeah, and I actually experienced that with the first novel when I was given that possibility of a contract. I did experience um, the editor coming in wanting to change the storyline, to make it fit the type of narrative for the people who actually were their, I guess, readers, so to speak. But it wasn't the story that I wanted to tell. And because it ended up being a 3 book series, it was going to be some type of contract where you had to be tied down to 3 books. And it just, for me to lose that creative freedom on my first shot at being an actual author, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I do understand that. Yeah, especially when you first come in the game. I know
Hmm.
some people go ahead and probably just take the deal. Like you said before, you basically read the fine print, and you would have got, yeah, you've been probably been stuck in some stuff if you would just signed up and just
Hmm.
did it real quick.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things even like you compared to the music industry, everything sounds good and you want to, you want to get out there so much, so bad that you're willing to kind of overlook some things just so that you can get this product out. But you have to be smart about these contracts. You really do, especially when um it involves ownership of your creative thoughts.
I mean, if you have like a throwaway book or something like that, if you don't care, they take it. I can see that, but even with
Right.
that, you still want control of it anyway.
Exactly. You want to be able to, I mean, if you're pretty much at that point, I would still pretty much have been doing it by myself anyway. So it was like, what's the point?
Yeah, that is so very true. It actually worked
Hmm.
itself out. So we're just going to ask some other questions here.
Okay.
So what's the writing? What's the writing process begins with you? Do you do like an outline? Do you just go ahead and just start writing on it?
Well, for appearances, I did have an outline. I definitely had an idea for that book, and the idea came from a poem by a author. I mean, by a poet by the name of Paul Lawrence Dunbar. "We Wear the Mask." It's a really old poem, and the concept is really different from appearances, so to speak, but it does speak about how we have to adjust to show a different side of us to certain people. And I pulled that and I definitely did an outline. But for my latest novel, All Things Work Out Well, I did not actually do an outline. And don't think I'm crazy, but the characters actually just started having a conversation in my head. And I just heard the first few lines of that novel, just two women having conversation, and I jotted down the conversation and I built my novel off of just listening to a random conversation in my head. I'm not crazy, but as authors, characters do sometimes come to you.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
For real. Ask some authors. They will tell you. It is. I don't know.
I mean, so that is so very true. Actually, some of the authors that's been on the show and even behind the scenes, they also said that the characters pretty much come to life. They talk to themselves. I
Hmm.
mean, in the normal world, we're like, if you answer to if your thoughts are answering to some other thoughts, you crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's. I didn't believe it. Um, but I'm glad that I always keep like pen and pad with me, so I was able to jot down the conversation, and then I revisited it a few months later, and I'm like, okay, and everything just started to come together. I had to actually do research on that novel. For appearances, I did, and everything pretty much came out, just imagination. But for my latest novel, All Things Work Out Well, I definitely had to do a little research. It's about two women who are, best friends, and it deals with domestic violence. It deals with dream chasing, wanting more, friendship, and it involves two ladies that actually work in a laundromat. So when I say research, I actually spent about 2 to 3 hours in a laundromat, taking notes, speaking with the manager, observing the customers, just kind of embracing what a day to day type of day to day look would be, and it helped me tremendously when I was getting everything together.
Oh wow, that's pretty good. Did you also put a load on yourself? Did you like get deep into it yourself?
No, not that deep. When I went in, I introduced myself to the manager, and I said, "Hey, I'm an author. I'm writing a novel. I'm doing some research. Do you mind if I, just sit back and take some notes?" And he was fine with it. I took like maybe 4 or 5 pages of notes, and then just speaking with the manager about the different types of customers that come in, the different, stuff that they find in the laundry machines, left behind, and just all the craziness. It was really, really worth it.
Oh
And it's
man.
included in the novel. So, yeah.
Okay, wow, you did that. I got to give it to you on that. You did that. I mean, I would have never thought. Like, I mean, I guess you have to. Depends on your subject matter. You have to pretty much do what you got to do to make the
Hmm.
story authentic.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to write about something that you don't know about. So, they say, if you ever check the search history of an author's computer, you will find some crazy stuff. And I know I've Googled some crazy stuff, especially with my first novel, like medical terms and, just all kind of stuff. Like you want to write from a space where you are comfortable with. You don't want to be having something in your book and it makes no sense to the reader. So you have to do the research.
Uh huh. Okay, we're gonna blame it on the book. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a book now.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, on some of these characters that you have in your book, you don't have to say no names or anything like that. Are they like some of the people that you might know a little bit, or is that something you kind of observe from other people?
Um, yes and no. A lot of characters that I've written about, I have embellished personalities of people that I have met before. Some of it is made up, some of it is just, kind of like them. But yeah, you do pull from different people's personalities when you're creating these characters. You pull from, people's physical characteristics. You pull from your own imagination. But yeah, we take notes. So if you're ever around an author, always know that some part of you might end up in a novel. It might.
Yeah, that's why I gotta kind of be careful around certain.
Yeah, it definitely might.
I be watching some of y'all stuff on the social media. I
Yeah.
can tell when things go a certain way. I'm like, I bet that person's gonna be in the next book, or
Oh
that
yeah.
person's gonna be somewhere in the book. I'm like, I can see it.
Oh yeah. It is. You have to be really subtle about it, but yeah, we do. We sometimes, like even um I know I think her name is Tayari. I think I'm pronouncing her name right. Tayari Jones. One of my favorite authors I met before. I think she got a book idea just from looking at a couple in a mall, I want to say, having a conversation. It's something as simple as that. Like you can pull a story from just a few lines in a poem, or just driving down the road and you see an accident, and you can definitely form an entire story just based off of those things.
Oh yeah, you can call it accident, train wreck, whatever you want to call it. You can get something out of it. I
Yep.
guess we also call that people watching as well.
Yes, definitely.
But it's actually pretty good if you're an author. You can kind of analyze the situation and see what's going on. You can profit off of it.
Yeah, you can. You can, and you hope that that book might be the book that gets in the right hands, and then you're on your way.
So, out of the books that you've written right now, are you going to put these on the I can't say silver screen, but are you going to put this like in motion picture form?
Now that is easier said than done. Now, I am a big Tubi person, and I have been really enjoying seeing these authors on put their novels on the big screen. I would love to do that. I've been in talks with one of my close relatives about actually putting the appearances series in a motion picture form, because that's every author's dream in my opinion. But it's a lot to go. It's a lot that goes into it as far as finances go. It's a lot to turn your novel into an actual script. It's a lot. I have actually have a couple of people who said that they wanted to act in it if I ever got it going. And man, like that would be like a dream come true. And I'm not bragging, but appearances is definitely like being a binge show on Netflix. Like, I'm serious. If I could ever get the shot, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, you already claimed it right now. Hey, like
Oh
we
yeah.
say, hey, if you, I mean, of course you got to put your work in it, but you got to work into it, but you just got to work a
Right.
little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you just never know the right opportunity.
Yeah. And
Next thing you know, we're watching it.
yeah, that's true. It only takes meeting the right person, networking, getting it out there. But being self-published, the financial aspect is an aspect. So I would tell anybody, like, if you could get some type of investor to help you in your journey, that would be extremely helpful to you.
Oh yeah, I know we have some of the legends in the game. They turned their works into movies as well. You had like Zane.
Oh yeah.
Then you had like a few other people as
Terry
well.
McMillan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes, like, and it's just, to me, I just feel like, when they remake all these different movies and all this stuff, it's like there's no need to remake anything. Like, it's so many books out there that could be like excellent movies. I mean, it's so much creativity out there we shouldn't see any remakes of anything. Like we have a whole system like just waiting to be tapped into.
Oh yeah, man, we have so many stories to tell. Like you said before, you don't have to remake movies all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, most of the time it's a money grab. It's rarely they actually get it right.
yeah, that's true.
I'm
That's
not gonna
true.
name no movies, but there's been a couple of them recently. I'm like, man, shit, did no, I'm not even gonna do that right now. But
Yeah, I feel you though. I feel you. Some stuff is, you need to leave some stuff alone. Just
I
leave it alone.
I mean, if it's like 30 years, it's I mean, it's pretty much over. If it maybe like 10 or 15 years, I'll give it a benefit of a doubt.
Yeah.
Unless it's like an action movie or something like that. But anything else, we just gotta kind of let that go.
Yeah. Give somebody a shot. Get some new material a shot for real.
So, what was your favorite authors coming up in the book game?
Oh, definitely Zane, Eric Jerome Dickey, rest in peace to him. Mary
Legendary.
Monroe, Terry McMillan, Alice Walker. Um, some newer authors that I've started to like is I just finished Black Girls Must Die Exhausted by Jane Allen. I really like her writing style. It's just so many. Being the president of a book club, I'm an avid reader. So, being able to do something that I love and enjoy and also meet some of the greats is a blessing.
Oh yeah, and I like Town. That's why they still active. That's a good thing.
Oh yeah. Oh
So, what
yeah.
is your favorite book personally?
Um I have a lot of favorite books, but I will say that
Just give me like two or three. Then I know it's kind of hard to narrow it down to like one.
I would definitely have to say The Alchemist by Paul Coelho, I believe is his how you pronounce it. Um that book alone is not, I don't even think it's 100 pages. That book alone is so motivating. Um a recent book that I actually enjoyed was the Will Smith's autobiography. It was really great. Um, just to name, just the recent ones off the top of my head, but definitely I would say The Alchemist is up there as one of the best books that I've ever read.
Oh yeah, so it was like a recent classic. Even though, I think it came out in the '80s, right? At the Alchemist.
Yeah, it's a real old book, and I've always, heard about it and never read it. And it was introduced to our book club last year. It was my first time ever reading, and it's a really quick read. And I mean, it's just so many jewels dropped in that book. So many jewels, so much. Um, it just basically talks about, when you're trying to, chase your whatever dream that you have. It talks about like just going after your dream and all of the different people that may kind of step in and try to, stop you from your dream. And you're going to have all of these different hurdles, but you have to keep going and eventually you'll make it. And I mean, it's just really inspiring.
Yeah, that's so very true. The dream killers or whatever you want to call it, but you got to go out and do what you have to do for yourself. But I mean, you can't depend on some people to do it for you. You have to go out there and put your work into it, of course.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, you'll get
you
help
do.
on the way. If people see you trying, they'll help you.
That's absolutely true. And in a lot of aspects of your life, a lot of times it's not even about, you may not even be the best at it, but just when somebody sees the drive and determination that you have, that sometimes is all it takes for you to make it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think what they call luck. I mean, I know luck is not like a blind thing. I guess you. I'm trying to figure out the definition of luck, but whatever it said, I mean, it's pretty much your work. You putting your work into it, and
Hmm.
wow, I can't. I will skip that one for right now, but I had that definition on my mind, but I can't even. It won't even come out right now. But I mean, luck is not by chance. Luck is pretty much the work you put into it, in the right
Yeah.
situation or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know who you will come in contact with. You never know who they know. You just never know. So you always have to be, constantly on the grind, like every day.
Oh yeah, that is so true on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. That's what are you working on right now, actually?
So right now I am working on my this will be my fifth novel, and it's called Committed. And Committed is going to be a psychological thriller. It's going to be based off of a wife that has an affair with her next door neighbor.
Mm.
And he's going to be crazy.
Oh God, why you gotta be? Why you gotta be him though?
Yeah, he's going to be crazy. I've seen my share of stalker movies, and I never liked the ending. I always hate the ending. So, I was like, well, let me put my own spin on it. So it's gonna be very interesting.
I ain't nobody finna play with y'all. I gotta see this.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I've already started working on it, and I'm just so excited about these characters. I think the readers will have a love hate relationship with the one who is going to be crazy, so to speak. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah.
My God, it's going down. We're pretty much getting halfway through the show right now, so we're
Okay.
gonna ask some other questions. How do you deal with writer's block?
Oh man. I'll be honest. Writer's block is one of the worst things ever. I visited West Africa in 2019, and I actually was writing a travel memoir about it, and I suffered severe writer's block because I guess I may have waited a little too late. I took a journal during that trip, and then COVID hit, and then chaos ensued. It was everything going on, and I literally did have writer's block. So what I did was I kind of just took a break. Um, and I was right there getting ready to promote my latest novel. All my book signings were canceled. So for me, I just kind of like took that as okay, just chill out. I couldn't focus. So for writer's block for me is sometimes you just have to take some time away from it. You really just have to step away, and it'll come back. But you can't force it. You cannot force the flow of writing, because you'll sit there all day long, and whatever you come up with, you're gonna delete it. So it's better to just step away, take some time. The great thing about being self-published is you don't have to you're not on the deadline. Your timeline is your own self-imposed timeline. So I took some time off and regrouped, and then found that creative niche again.
Oh wow, writer's block around the pandemic. I do understand that. We thought, I mean, most people thought the world was coming to an end. I mean, that's gonna be writer's block, hopefully for everybody, you know.
Oh yeah. um it was so much going on that it was extremely hard to focus. um you're really all it was like day-to-day life. You were, everything was out of routine. So yeah, it took some time to I took some time to just regroup.
So, did you get a chance to relax, kind of get some things together while you was off, or were you working the whole time?
I actually discovered work from home, and have been doing it ever since. And I don't know, a lot of people don't like it, but for me, work from home is the best work life balance I have ever had. I am a banker by day.
Hmm.
So, just imagine, every morning getting up, having to be dressed professionally. As a woman, you got to do makeup and all of this kind of stuff every day, and
Hmm.
heels every day. And, the pressure of, the banking corporate world, it was a lot. So to be able to work from home, if I have the choice, I will never, never ever leave this house again to go to work. Hopefully, hopefully.
So you one of those people with a dog is barking and you telling people, be quiet back there, shut up.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, and it's but now the work that I do, I don't have to be, it's not customer service involved anymore where I'm actually dealing with the customer. It's everything on the back end, which I enjoy, I love, so I hope that I can continue to do it because it just to me, being an author, it just releases that hustle and bustle of day-to-day life, and you're able to be more relaxed. I'm way more relaxed, not as high strong as I used to be, and I'm loving it.
So you don't have to report every now and then. You just straight up at the house.
Straight up at the house.
That is gravy right there. That's a dream job. Yeah, I remember
Straight.
I was in the corporate setting back in the ancient times. Some people was working at home. They had to
Mhm.
come in the office every so often. They was doing like extra stuff. They were trying
Mhm.
to take their laptop and the signal kept going out and stuff like that. A few people got fired for doing that stuff.
Oh wow.
That was
Oh
back in
wow.
the 2010s or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
nowadays it's easy. They don't care as long as you logging in doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Just really laid back, have a great team. Everybody is real cool. We don't have to come on camera. Like,
Mm.
we have our meetings, and it's a blessing. If I could say anything, it is a huge blessing because the stress of it all, when you work in the corporate world for so long, it's you start your facial expressions start telling the way that you think. It's hard to hide it the older you get, and it was time. It was time for me to step away.
Yeah, I can say when I first got to Atlanta, I opened up like another bank account at SunTrust before they merged.
Hmm.
They had the ATMs. You didn't need a card, which was kind of weird. They had like a screen. You can talk to the customer service person.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? I forgot my card. I'm like, shoot, how am I gonna get some money out of here? Then I guess somebody was walking, say, hey, you don't need no card, just do something. Only thing I had to do is show my ID.
Hmm.
And then the money
Yeah.
came out.
Oh yeah. It they have really, really, really revolutionized. I think that's how you say it. The banking industry. You can pretty much do a lot of things over the phone, or even if you lose your debit card, you can just go on the app and just get a temporary code and log in. It's really simple now.
Yeah, I know this. It's kind of weird. Good old. I'm an old country boy. That's kind of weird to me, but it's something I have to kind of get used to at the same time, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like technology, not a lot of technology, but I like some of it.
Yeah, especially on cars and stuff like that. I had to kind of get used to that. One of
Mhm.
my newer cars, pretty much. I'm not gonna say it drive itself, but it had like that lane departure feature. It'll keep
Mhm.
you in the lane, and also it had like the adaptive cruise control. It'll keep
Mhm.
you in a certain space
Mhm.
whenever you're driving. The truck has been having it for a while, but on my car that I have now, yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm like, this car down there can drive itself to a certain extent.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was at times I was like real tired. I'm like, how the heck I get over here? I'm like, I mean, then I made it.
Yeah.
I was in a straight line, of course, but that don't work everywhere. You got to have the lines in the road, of course.
Yeah. And with all this technology, what's the car that there's another car that drives? Is it the Tesla?
They got a Tesla. They
Yeah.
have the new Mustang, the SUV, the Mark E.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the major manufacturers, they have like their own version of a self-driving car to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Tesla is like the main one.
Yeah. We actually I went to Cali last October, and we saw somebody that was driving one of those, and it was crazy. Like they literally were just like sitting behind, not touching anything. It was crazy.
I mean, you know, when we get stuff, you know, as Negroes, of course, I'm in Atlanta. I see everything. I be
Yeah.
seeing people rolling. I be seeing people eating.
See, I would
Man,
be.
man, they be doing all kinds of stuff in these Teslas, and they
Yeah.
be having them hooked up too in Atlanta. I'm like, man, they got rims and paint,
Oh,
all kind of stuff on it. I'm like, we're gonna mess up Teslas too, huh?
yeah. We are. we are. That it's kind of scary to me. I don't think I could trust it. I have to control the wheel. Like I'm just too nervous. I'm thinking somebody if I don't trust it if somebody tries to come over and merge and stuff. Like I gotta have control.
I mean, I saw my other car. It's like a 2014 Volkswagen Jetta diesel, of course. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much it's new enough, but it's not like it's old school but new school at the same time. It don't have none of that technology on there. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I still have like real GPS. I got like a it don't have none of those features on it to help drive itself. You have to control the steering wheel yourself.
Yeah, and I like the Jettas. I actually like those cars because they have a really, really high safety rating. One of the best in safety ratings, actually.
Really?
Yeah, the Jettas are made really, really well.
Oh,
So
yeah, they're
yeah,
like a
I like
tank.
those.
I mean, you know, the maintenance ain't the cheapest in the world, but you know, you get them
Yeah,
going, you can't stop them.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta take this car into maintenance on Tuesday. Actually, I don't drive it like I used to. I mean, they was telling me this is gonna be this. I'm like, come on, really? The
Mm-hmm.
car been sitting,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but I mean, it is what it is on that. But we getting close to the end on this, of course. What you advise for people that want to? What would you say for the person that want to publish their first book?
Um, the first thing I would say is to you know, really, really think about what your intentions are. um if you're really, really serious about it, the first, what are your intentions? Do you want to be an actual author? Are you wanting to do this one time? Are you willing to go to book events? Like, what type of author are you wanting to be first of all? Because if you're going to be self-published, it's one kind of way to go. If you want to try to pitch it to a literary agent or to a major book publishing company, something like that, is another route that you would need to go. So, really, really think about if that's something you want to do. And then once you do that, start really networking. Reach out to the people who are doing what you want to do. Or, if they went this route, reach out to those people. If they went that route, reach out to them. I found that people are very, very forthcoming with information if you just ask for it. Most people don't mind helping you and giving you the tips and things that you need. So definitely do that. And then, get started on your book. It doesn't have to be perfect. Write it, do an outline if you have to, get it written, get focused, and then find a great editor. Um, get you someone to do your book cover, or create your own book cover. It's so many different categories and apps and all kind of different ways to do that. And you know believe in yourself. That's the advice I would give.
Oh wow, that'll work right there. Couple other questions here. Since we also a car platform, I got to ask you some car questions, of course.
Okay.
What was your first car, by the way?
Oh man. My first car, well, no, my first um car was actually a Jeep. That's the first vehicle I ever purchased on my own, paid in full.
Mm.
um I love my Jeep Cherokee.
Oh, them Jeep Cherokees, they doing their thing in the back in the day. They still, they still ride right now. Okay.
Yeah, and
I,
I remember I got a little Tweety Bird
mm.
made. When you go to the mall and you could airbrush the little the the front plates and stuff, and I got a little Tweety Bird that said I bought it on there. I love that Jeep.
What's going on, Kayla Mason, and what's good, Solo? I see you out there as well. Oh man, the Tweety Bird. Oh, you telling your age too? My
Oh
God.
yeah,
Ooh,
oh
don't.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that at that right now, of course. So, what was the story that you have about your Cherokee?
Um, so it was when I bought it, I had never traveled by myself. I actually went on a trip by myself, like, in my Jeep, and that's one of my most favorite memories is just, me and my little Jeep Cherokee thinking I'm grown with my little bags packed and, taking my first trip. So yeah.
Well, did it break down on you or something? You just jumped in there and just started riding.
It didn't break down. It broke down later.
Hmm.
Later it went through a lot. Like I went through a lot with that Jeep, but yeah, it was an old school Jeep. I can't remember the year
Oh,
of it,
damn.
but it was an old school model.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
What year it was, do you know?
I don't remember. I really don't remember what year it was. But I know it was the one that had like the gear shift and all of that in the right on the floor. It was not like a high tech Jeep or nothing like that. And I had like the souped up CD player where you have to put the thing in the lighter socket or whatever
Oh,
with the
Lord have
CDs.
mercy.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah, it
Oh,
was big
man.
up.
That is crazy. So, what's your favorite car that you see out there or you might have had yourself?
Oh, I like the Camaros. Um, I definitely like I'm a BMW girl.
Mm.
Like the BMWs. And hmm, those are my two most favorite cars.
Oh, that'll work right there. So, we're pretty much at the end right now. Let everybody know where we can find you at.
Yeah, so my Instagram is K Reshay, and that's also my Facebook page, Author K Reshay as well. My website is krashayweebly.com. And my book club website is metimebookclub1weebly.com. And you can also follow my book club, Me Time Book Club, on Twitter at Me Time Book Club, Facebook, Me Time Book Club, and Instagram as well.
So, tell us about your event that you have right now. Even though we can't get in, but when is your event coming out?
Yeah, so last year we started our book event Behind the Ink. And this year, our book event is April the 30th at the Harvard Center in Birmingham, Alabama from 11 to 4. Second annual book event, very excited about it. We are featuring Zane, and we're also New York. Well, let me get that right. New York Times best-selling author Zane.
Yeah, you know how
And
she
we
do
are,
it. She will correct you.
oh, yeah. And we are also featuring Curtis Bunn, who is Essence Magazine's best-selling author, and he's also the founder of the National Book Club Conference in Atlanta.
Oh man, that's a nice lineup right there. Plus
Yeah.
everybody else go comment.
Plus everybody else, we are featuring we have over 50 authors. We have some vendors set up as well. We're going to have a good time. We have a musician there. We have an event host. Sean Robinson is coming. Alabama's first Black poet laureate is one of our featured authors as well, Ashley M. Jones. She'll be there.
Hmm.
She just released a novel a couple of months ago. So we're really excited, really, really excited to highlight some local authors and also authors that are coming in, like Frank Jordan, who is a great historical novelist.
Man, you got some hitters right there from top to bottom.
Yeah, you know how we do.
I mean, also I got to plug in my event as well. I have to do it, but the Writers Book Club. We also going to have a book fair and fashion show as well in
Mhm.
Atlanta on June the 18th, 2022, from like 12 to 8.
Mhm.
First part of it is going to be the book fair, and the other part is going to be the fashion show, of course. Also, I will be looking for vendors and everything else in between. If anybody want to reach out to me, Mr. Old School Ryder, hit me on Instagram at Mr. Old School Ryder, which is MISTEROLDSKOOLRYDER. Also, you can hit me in my email at heyuseyourInsightVoiceLive@gmail.com as well. But other than that, any final thoughts and remarks at this time, Kay?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I have really enjoyed myself. To all the readers out there, I want to invite you all to attend the National Book Club Conference this year in Atlanta. It's going to be in August, and I will be a featured author this year. I'm very excited about that opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you are an avid reader, I highly recommend the National Book Club Conference in Atlanta. It is a 3-day conference. It has a lot of major authors there, readers from all across the country, Black readers. You know, we are in this thing, and you know, we are going to make a mark. So, you know, please take a look at that, and if you can come on by.
Yeah, give me the hit me. We'll talk about that in the background, but I will be there along. If it's on a weekend, I will be there.
Yeah. It's a really nice event. I've gone for 3 years in a row now. Started out going as a reader, now, you know, as an author, and it's just one of those things where it's so highly recommended in the literary community, because you get to network and you get to meet people from all across the country, great people in the industry.
Oh wow, we're gonna end that on that note at this time. All right, stay on with me real quick, Kay, while I end the show. But other than that, your
Okay.
boy, Mr. Old School Ryder on the Ryder's Book Club, and we're over and we're out. Stay right there, Kay.